Hello, my name is Craig Resnick, Vice President, ARC Advisory Group. We're here at the Orlando Forum 2013. My special guest today is Tony Paine, President and CEO of Kepware Technologies. How are you doing today, Tony?
Very good, thank you, Craig.
You know, as a software vendor in the industrial automation space, what challenges do you see coming in the market today?
Well, there are quite a few. Companies want to make smart decisions in real time, and that involves getting the right information to the right people at the right time. And when you start thinking about a control system, you think about a lot of components that make up that control system, hardware and software components from a wide variety of vendors. So how do you go and you make that all those components intercommunicate together? So interoperability is a very big challenge. Being able to, these devices, these software applications, they all have their own methods for exchanging information. What's needed is to be able to take that into a platform and share it across over a single language or protocol. And the other thing that's important is reliability. Reliability, the robustness of these systems. These systems have to run 24/7. They also need to scale to meet the challenges of tomorrow. And as we all know, security is very important, so the ability to exchange this information between the different components, whether it be inside the plant or outside the plant, has to be first and forefront of everybody's mind.
You know, you mentioned interoperability. And how is interoperability, how has the industry come together to see that everyone's products are working together and communicating with each other?
Yeah, it's really collaboration amongst the different vendors in the space. And these vendors are competitors. They all have their own products that they sell that have preferred connectivity, among their own components that they sell as a suite. But at the end of the day, we know that customers want to be able to build up an industrial control system with the best of breed parts. So industry comes together, they form standard bodies. One notable standard body is the OPC Foundation. They have a set of standards called the OPC standards for open connectivity. These standards provide a consistent set of services for allowing you to exchange real-time alarm and event information, historical data access, and just a consistent set of services that all us vendors can actually comply to.
You know, you mentioned standards, and we know what a major role the standards play in communications today. And is it as simple for a vendor as just adopting a standard, or is there more than that? More to it than that?
Yeah, I wish it was that simple. So the standards basically are a contract between products. This is how I'm going to actually exchange information. Basically, this is the format. This is the payload that it should actually take when pushing data into an application or pulling data out. It's really up to vendors to go and build a robust application. Like I said earlier, these applications have to run 24/7. Standards by themselves define how the data is transformed. They can't necessarily enforce how well a vendor implements those standards. So I will say that standard bodies have actually taken steps to actually improve products built on the standards that they maintain. They've created compliance programs, so vendors like us can go and get certified by a third party, have our products validated, have a seal of an approval from the foundation, for instance, so that end users can actually have the information to make informed decisions on which products they should buy to build up their solutions.
Now, Kepware Technologies has been in the business since, 1995, I believe?
That's correct.
And so you've been providing communication software for a long time. How has that changed over the last 10 years, communication software today versus, say, 10 years ago?
Yeah, when I look back to the early days, the end users, the people that were actually utilizing our products, were really focused on the actual control process, what the process was actually doing. So how do I take process data that's critical to creating the products that I want to manufacture and actually get the results that I'm looking for? What we're seeing now is people are expanding on that. They want to actually be able to monitor and manage the actual equipment, the assets, in a similar fashion. Today, products are built, pretty much on demand. There is no surplus to go pull from, so downtime is very, it wants to be zero. It's very critical to manufacturing. So anything you can do to actually monitor your plant infrastructure, the actual equipment, so that you can potentially detect failures before they occur, allows operators to be able to go solve those problems before they become really, real problems.
We see today that enterprises are connecting to Ethernet any way they possibly can. and everything's becoming Ethernet enabled. You know, do you think that the standards will scale up to the needs of the user without compromising reliability?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, you know, the standards themselves are a very cohesive set of services that allow you to read and control, monitor and control one to hundreds of thousands of data points from ones to hundreds of devices. So the standards themselves allow for that bulk exchange of information. What it really comes down to is its implementation. You know, you can have a couple parties implement a product on a standard, and you can have good implementations and you can have poor implementations. It's up to vendors to be able to understand the resources that are available to them, to be able to go and collect information in an optimized fashion, so that you know, as more and more devices added to the network, that the information that is going through, they don't incur bottlenecks and such.
I mean, I know one thing also that's a big issue amongst your customers today is security, and you're hearing a lot about security at the forum, and it's at the forefront of everyone's minds. And you know, what steps do you take to make sure that your customers are thinking about security, and are you providing them with any tools that it takes to help them meet their security challenges?
Our communications products are one piece to the overall control system, and when you think of the industry as a whole, you continue to hear about defense in depth strategies. And I think Kepware looks at that on a product basis. We have our own layers within our own products. We have the highest layers, which are the client interfaces, allowing HMI SCADA applications to connect to us, collect the information. Some APIs are more secure than others. At the bottom end, we have connectivity to actual data sources, and there are some protocols that have been around for years that are very insecure. However, as protocols evolve and technology evolves, we're seeing more and more secure protocols become available. It's up to companies like Kepware to take advantage of those, implement them, bring them into the product, allow for the authentication of who the parties are that are sharing information, as well as the encryption of that data. The other thing that we're doing is you've got the information that we actually collect and make available. And even in the case of having authorized users, you may want one user to have more access to information, maybe be able to access information or manipulate it, whereas another employee, you may want to have limited access. So we're expanding on our application security model to be able to provide that level of granularity for our customers.
Great. Last question. What's coming out at Kepware Technologies? What's new and exciting?
Yeah, well, the data over the years is becoming more and more complex. Devices are becoming more and more intelligent. The data that's collected is no longer simple. It's structured in nature. I'd say you could actually say data has data, metadata that explains the context of what you're actually collecting and what a value actually represents. The other thing is we are hearing more and more about the cloud. So you've got people that are actually using applications outside the physical walls of the manufacturing facility that want to be able to connect to the data, and that is typically decoupled. So in that case, we need to be able to provide historical data to these applications. We need to be able to collect data in real time, buffer it up, and then provide it in a store and forward fashion when those client applications want to access the data. So you're going to see Kepware spending more time on releasing products that actually take advantage of that rich information, that archive data in these applications, and provide it to these richer applications that sit on top of us.
Well, Tony, thank you very much. That was Tony Paine, President and CEO of Kepware Technologies. I'm Craig Resnick from the ARC Advisory Group, speaking to you from the Orlando 2013 Forum. Thanks and have a great day.